Hi, I'm Kirk Whalum, and I am going to make it to where you never ever have the excuse again that I didn't have anything to practice on. In other words, I'm going to show you something that was shown to me that pretty much did away with that excuse forever, because I always have something to work on now. In fact, I have a little acronym that I made up. It's ASTWO, ASTWO. ASTWO. But the acronym part of it is always something to work on. Always something to work on. Okay, so ASTWO. And another way of looking at that, by the way, is that really it's never just you making music. Really, you're representing somebody. Either you're representing your parents who cheer you on, or your friends, your significant others, and in our case, I think to God. We're representing God because He's the ultimate creator of music. So it's always making music, not just as one, but as two, right? But always something to work on. So let's say, first of all, this came from a guy named James Moody, who I consider to be one of the greatest saxophonists ever. One of the greatest people ever. But I met him when I was 19, and he asked me, he said, well, can you play your major scale? I said, well, yeah. He said, well, all right, we'll play enough scale. I said, as a young person, I was trying to impress him, so I played it really fast. And he said, no. I want you to play it with the metronome and play it very evenly. And I want you to play it, every note gets the exact same value as the next note. These are things you already know, right? So I backed up and I played it correctly. Okay, now he says, play that in thirds. I'm thinking, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I had never done it, but I went, all right. Same thing. He says, no, you got to slow down. Play that with the metronome, because the idea is that if you want to be able to play really fast, you got to be able to play really slowly, but evenly. The idea is to execute things well slowly. Then you can do it fast. Okay? Playing thirds. Major scale in thirds. Alright? Now, then he says, why don't you play that same thing but pointing down? I said, what's he talking about? Like this? No, in other words, instead of the first interval would sound like this. So instead of etc., it would be right? But now I'm thinking I'm really impressing him. He says, okay, now can you play that in minor? I said, yeah, sure. And I won't embarrass myself and say, yeah, it was terrible. But what he showed me was the way to do that and continue to always make whatever you're playing, make it harder. In other words, here's something that you already know how to do. So now how can I make that harder? So I did it. I was doing it in the major. And by the way, that's only one key. Now that's an F. Let's say you do that in F sharp. Right, or G flat, and then you do it in G and A flat, etc. Every time you change and make it, learn it in another key, you're making it a little harder for yourself, right? But then, now we're going to do it in the minors. And as well, as you work through that, now you're going to say, all right, let's play, instead of just playing one direction, let's say I take the first two intervals and make those pointing up, as in I'm going to make those first two pointing down. And then the next two I'll be pointing up again. And then the next two pointing down. Etc. So 2 down, 2 up. 2 down, 2 up. Now Now the idea is to do that in every key, not just in the major, but in the minor, and not just in the regular, not just in pure minor. You want to do it in the pure minor, the melodic minor, get the books out, and the harmonic minor. And when I say melodic, of course, the melodic ascending minor. And then the harmonic minor is going to drive you nuts. Okay? But then you say, hey, I'm good, I can do that, so I already know everything. No. Let's try the same thing in fourths. Okay? Let's say still 2 pointing down and 2 pointing up. In fourths, in harmonic minor. I'm still in one key, I'm still in F, right? F, harmonic minor. Fourths, 2 pointing down, 2 pointing up. Now that's just a seed of what I've been working on for the last 38 years, but the point is that I'm never bored, because even if I've got like 10 minutes and nothing to do, I can always take some scale or some pattern, flip it around, change the articulation, change the time signature, play it in a minor key or whatever, and always take it another level up in terms of difficulty. In fact, here's a good example. Let's say you play your scales already in 4/4. Well, why don't you do the same thing in 7/8? Like. So that's little things that you do when you don't have anything else to do. Always find another level of difficulty, because believe me, since God made music, I think He made sure that there was always another level that you can't get to unless you work hard, right? So you've always got something to work on. ASTWO. ASTWO. All right? No more excuses. I'm Kirk Whalum. I look forward to hearing you play.